Good morning traders and welcome to today's live trading. Today is the 20th of September. It's a Thursday as usual and we are on the FTSE 100. So as usual, let me quickly run you through my bands for today. You can see the two we've got on screen. We've got the one here above around the 7350 level and the one below here around the 7320 level. I've got one above here just above these, well, around the 7400 level, and one a little bit below at the 7270 level. As far as trade setups go this morning, what I would quite like to see is possibly a move down past this orange line into the band below. I quite like the potential for longs from this band. Pretty much anywhere within this band actually looks strong for a potential bounce. If I show you the 4-hour chart quickly, you can see, if I could make this bigger, that for the last week or so, price has really struggled to break up above this band. We've had numerous rejections from here. We've not gone very far. We've only bounced down to the band below or the one below that, and we've come back again. So granted, it didn't send price miles and miles lower, but there was a strong resistance there, and now that we have broken above it, I would like to test this level of support, basically at least to the band above it. So if I go back on the 5-minute, I'm not looking for a huge run from it. If we can get down into this band, I would literally just look for the band above. Probably just below. So that's sort of the plan at the moment. Obviously, if price comes down into this band and just doesn't look like it wants to react, or the price action within it is not very good, and it starts to move through it, then I'll quickly throw away that idea. But that's what I'm looking at the moment. So we're coming up to sort of 5 minutes to the open. I'll get ready to start watching for today, and I will come back to you when things start to get a little bit more interesting. Right, so we're 10 o'clock now, literally seconds to 10 o'clock, and we've not really got much movement this morning, to be honest. You can see the open candle here is the largest candle we've had so far today, and we've just sort of grinded a little bit lower. We have come into the band below and reacted, but there was just no entry here. There's no signal candles that I used there. What I thought I might see was, once it had popped down, a retest of this level, which we got, but then it's moved through it. I was hoping that it might react from there, come back into the band, and give me a buy signal, but that has not happened. So I'm still watching for now. Hopefully this gets a little bit more exciting, for want of a better word, but I just need some more clean-cut price action really before I can get involved. It did dip into the band that we were looking for, just sadly no signal. So I can hear my coffee machine calling. I'm going to go grab a drink and I'll catch up with you a bit later on. Okay, so we're coming up to 12 o'clock now. We've had this large pin bar here. It is a green pin bar, so obviously we need to break the low for this to be valid. But I am going to put a sell order beneath it. So let me do that quickly, just in case it starts coming down quickly. The low is 45, so I want to be in at 43. Submit that. Okay, so the order's in there. And really the reason is we're just really struggling up at this level. There was a little bit of support on the higher time frames just from the moving averages coming up with price, but they've both been tested now. In fact, the hour's been tested plenty of times, and the 4 hours, it's got a good test. It's actually got a poke through on the previous bar, so I'm not really too worried about those levels now. It's just whether price actually wants to start moving lower. Sorry, my preference was definitely the band below, but if anything, it was too good a level, as we just touched and we've not come back since. And we've done the move basically that I was looking for, that I was talking about, a move back up towards this band. So that's not off the table. If price was to come back down here, then I would probably still potentially look at taking a long from here. But as it stands, we're up at this band. We've got, somewhat decent price action. It's been a bit lethargic and sideways, but there are plenty of pins to the upside, obviously. And it looked like price wanted to start moving higher, and then we rejected all of a sudden, and we were left with this pin bar here. So I feel like that the risk on the trade, we're looking up towards 11-ish points for a potential reward of, it says 18 down there, but it's been more like 15 by the time we've taken spreads and just give it that little bit of room before the actual band. It's 1.5 to 1's a decent risk reward, and the trade's valid, so there's no reason to ignore it. So yeah, that's really my thinking on the trade. The analysis is pretty good, and if we get triggered, which it's looking like we're going to, then we'll see how this one runs. So what I'll do is I'll bring the ticket across so you can see it, and then when the live ticket gets triggered, if it does, I will bring that up. And yeah, pretty much we're just looking for a move downwards. So let's see how this one gets on. So 2 hours later, we're 10 to 2 now, and that trade is finally over. It's got to be one of the dullest trades I've ever watched. We literally did nothing, did we, for the first hour and 40 minutes of that trade, apart from grind sideways. Then we did get this little poke down, tested this 200, and it's reacted from there and come and taken out the stop. Just one of those trades that don't work, unfortunately. Like I said beforehand, I don't think the level is as strong as this one down here, but it's a valid level all the same. And it wasn't the first signal that occurred, so it's not like I jumped on the first thing I saw within this level. I was waiting to see, if price was going to struggle up here, and that it definitely did. And then, unfortunately, there was just no follow through to the signal there. We spiked up for the second time, the second large spike up. And then there was just no follow through to the downside, unfortunately. So it came down to a level where there were more buyers happy to jump on to the market here, and that's taken it up that little bit higher, which has triggered the stop. So yeah, not too much to say really on the trade, other than it's just one of those that don't work out, unfortunately. So 2 o'clock now. Looking at the news for the day, there's nothing really coming out this afternoon, so that could be it, potentially, because if price doesn't start to get a little bit more volatile soon, then there's definitely not going to be much to do for the rest of the day. It's been a pretty flat day, so that could be it. Could be finishing on, I think it was about 13 points, something like that, 13 point loss. But we'll see. I will keep watching. I haven't got to rush out or anything. So if something does arise, I will let you know. So we're a couple of minutes now to 4:30 and the close of the trading day. And as you can see, we haven't really been able to do much else today. We got stopped out as price started coming up here and stopped out our short. We came right up into the top of the band, reacted from the top, back down to the bottom of the band, and then reacted up again. And really, because we've approached this band from beneath and not broken above, I've only ever been looking at shorts. And really, after the failed short here, I was sort of either waiting for a break above or a retest of this band down here, and we didn't get either. I wasn't really too confident taking shorts from this band. That said, even if I would have basically took a short from the top of this band aiming for the bottom of the band, we didn't really get any signals for that here, and then obviously, my strategy doesn't allow me to take any longs from here. I'm still in like short mode, looking for shorts only, and obviously it bounces up, so there's nothing to get involved with there either. A couple of pin bars here, but nothing that I was feeling particularly strong about trading. Obviously the reason for not taking those shorts there is this is this really decent line of support here, and we're a distance from that. Obviously we'd bounced all day on it today. We've come up, it tested it again and bounced, and then I'm not going to take a signal that goes directly into that level because I'm asking to be chewed up by the price there, and obviously it does retest, bounce, and go higher. So yeah, there was just nothing really after today's only trade that came 10 to 12, which is a shame. It means we finished down for the day, but as I've said many times on the channel, it happens. Don't beat yourself up too much about it. It's just, you know, the probabilities for today just didn't work. So what? I'll move on to the next trading day and go from there. It's not going to affect how I trade tomorrow or the week after. So don't let it affect you either. Please ignore my phone. But yeah, thank you very much for watching. As always, I hope you've enjoyed the video and managed to take something away from it. If you do have any questions, by all means fire them away in the comments below. If you haven't done already, please do consider subscribing as well, and leave a like if you've enjoyed the video. Thanks again. I'll see you next week.